Okay, so managing difficult clients as a real estate agent, at some point in time, if you're doing enough business, you're going to run into this. And there are a few things you can do that can either right the ship and put yourself in a situation where you can actually win these clients over and create lasting relationships, or you're just going to be bumping heads the entire relationship and your life's going to be miserable. Now, I can say from experience, I've had both situations happen. I've had times where we just bumped heads the whole time. And then I've had times where we've righted the ship and the relationship has just become, better than I could have ever dreamed. And honestly, some of my best clients who refer me the most business were difficult clients to start. So I wrote down 4 things that I want to share in this video that could help turn a difficult client into one that is not only a great client, but one that actually refers you business in the future. So if the content resonates, click subscribe. That really tells me if these types of videos help or not. So let's get right into it. First thing I wrote down, number 1, I wrote set expectations from day 1. This is critical. Map out the process, your way of doing business, before you even sign a contract with them. Why? If you don't, or you miss certain things, or you assume these are the types of clients who will make you pay. They will say, you told me you would do this, or I assumed you would do this. We never talked about this. And they will bring it up and tell you they want you to do it. And if it's not part of your business model and something you don't do, this will cause a lot of stress in your relationship. The second thing I wrote down, underpromise and overdeliver. It goes in line with setting expectations, but I am always very aware of this. I do it with all the clients, but it's particularly important with a difficult client. Because if you overpromise, you say you're going to do something, you promise a high price that you can get. You promise you're going to get a certain number of showings. You promise the sign will be up today. Whatever it is, if you make an unrealistic promise and then it doesn't happen, that difficult client, they are never going to let you hear the end of it. And they're also not going to have a lot of trust in you moving forward. So if you actually are advising them correctly and giving them good advice, they're going to be very hesitant to take it because you've already broken that trust. So for myself, I know our sign company takes 1 to 3 days to put up a sign. So I tell people from the day we sign this contract, the sign will be up in 4 to 5 days. I'm giving my sign company room for error. So I know if something comes up and they fall behind, I'm still going to hit my client's expectation, right? When they say, when can we schedule pics with your photographer? I know my photographer's 1 to 3 days out, but I tell them usually within a week. Again, now I'm giving my photographer room for error, and I can still meet my client's expectations. So underpromise, overdeliver with everything. Make sure each part of your process is clearly mapped out and they understand it. After you map out the process, ask them, is there anything else you're expecting me to do to get your home sold or throughout this process that we haven't covered? If they do bring it up, then address it if it's something you agree with or not in your business. If it's not, address why. Make sure you're on the same page. If it is, no problem, write it down. But either way, at the end of that initial meeting, you've covered everything. You've laid everything out. There should be no surprises, okay? Third thing I wrote down, weekly check-ins. Very important. Now, in this great market, a lot of Connecticut agents have been in over the past 4 or 5 years. Many times the listing sold in 3 or 4 days. But in different parts of the country, and even Connecticut in some markets, we're starting to see a little bit of a shift where homes are sitting, price reductions, etc. And we're going back to that pre-COVID market where it doesn't always sell that first week. And I got to tell you, when a home doesn't sell the first week today, there's a lot more pressure than it was back then. No one expected their home to sell in the first week pre-COVID. But now when someone's home doesn't sell the first week, they are upset. They've all heard stories about friends and family, neighbors who have sold their home in a week. So there is more pressure. They want to know why. Beat them to that call. Don't just sit there and put the listing on the market and cross your fingers. Call them, update them. Don't wait for them to call you. If they call you first, you lost. That's my fourth and final key to managing difficult clients. Beat them to the call each time. When they text you, they call you, you've missed. Now they feel like they haven't been updated enough. They feel like your communication's off. By doing weekly check-ins, not only can you let them know what you're working on, what you're seeing, but you can ask them questions about how they're feeling, what they're expecting, right? And that can help you time your next check-in. For some clients, maybe you got to check in 5 or 6 days. Or for some clients, when you get some bad feedback, maybe you got to call them and tell them about it instead of just emailing them the negative feedback so they can see it, right? Each client's different, but I promise you, I've never had a client get upset at me for over-communicating. Once I've listed their home, whenever someone gets upset, it's because they're not feeling communicated enough with. So learn your clients' goals, learn their expectations. Also, tell them what to expect. In that initial meeting, I always let people know, listen, at a minimum, I'm going to contact you weekly to give you an update on the process. If for some reason it's been a slow week, we haven't had showings, it's quiet, I'm going to call you anyway and let you know what I'm working on. So you're not sitting there wondering, right? And obviously, if we're getting feedback and things and offers, we're going to make sure we communicate with you before then. But again, then they know what to expect. So when day 3 or 4 comes around, they're not panicking because I've already told them, hey, I'm going to check in with you next Friday or Thursday or whatever it is, right? These 4 simple techniques, if you use them, you have them on the back of your mind and you're implementing them each week, even if a client is difficult, even if the relationship starts off rocky, stick to those 4 steps. It can take a little more time for some of the more difficult clients. Maybe they've had a bad experience with an agent. Maybe they've had a bad experience selling, whether it was on their own or with another agent. Or maybe their expectations are just super unrealistic. That happens. We do this every day. So for us, this is normal, selling homes. Most people do it once every 7 or 8 years. So a lot of these things are big emotional things and can cause strong reactions, right? Put yourself in their situation. Don't get frustrated. Don't quit on them. Stick with these 4 steps each week. And I guarantee you, at the end of the process, when you sell their home, when you keep checking in with them after, they're going to appreciate it for you. They're going to understand the hard work you put in because, listen, difficult people are difficult people. If they're giving you a hard time, they're probably giving other people a hard time too in other areas of life. And most businesses don't give difficult people a lot of great service. They kind of write them off. So if you're the one that gives them great service anyway and sticks with them, they're going to appreciate you more than ever, which means they're going to give you more referrals than ever. So follow these 4 steps. Let me know which ones work best for you.